Hi, Pat Huntoon here with Technique Junkies, and today we're going to be making that cool and sparkly card that you saw at the beginning of the tutorial. So let's get started. We are starting with the three of the colors from the Apothecary collection, the Catherine Pooler Ink Minis Apothecary collection. We're using whipped honey, apricot, and matcha. I'm obsessed with this matcha color. And this is just to add a little bit of ink color to the back of the cardstock here. So I'm going to do one swipe. I've used this a lot recently. So this is a lighter color, so I'm just going to go over that a few times. And the next I'm going to be using is apricot. And I want to overlap those just a little bit. And finally, what I'm going to be using is the matcha. This matcha is the same color as my craft room, so I'm really obsessed with this green, obviously. So I love this matcha color. And again, this is just the base color. We're just adding a little color to the bottom of this so that when we stamp into it, we have a nice little base and we don't lose, it's not so monochromatic when we do the final step. So the next thing I'm going to do is stamp S984, All About Spring, into those colors. Let me stamp that and come right back to you. So there we go. It's been stamped on there, and I've also dried it with a heat tool. I wanted to make sure that that ink was nice and set because we're going to be doing the final step on this. And that is the IZINK Diamond 24 Carats in yellow. Now the 24 carats is a iridescent diamond, so it's a little bit different. I know you've seen me do this with pearl, but I just want to show you the difference when you use a colored one, such as yellow. So I'm just going to start with a palette knife, and I may resort to fingers in a minute. So being right-handed, I am going to go right to left, and just go right over the top of that. Nope, I need my fingers. It's too deep. I only want to put a small amount on here. I don't want this to be totally washed with this. And I think the palette knife is just adding a little bit more than I wanted to put on here. So the Aladine Ice is, most of the colors are pretty deeply colored. So when you put them through a stencil, you only see the colors and they're opaque, so you don't really see through them. But the two lightest colors, the pearl and the yellow, have a really nice ability to be translucent on lighter colored things. And you can really see the iridescence picking up in the words. So I'm almost done with this part. I think I need a little bit more at the top there. So you just, anything that you get to sound like that palette knife, you can clean up with soap and water right away. Murphy's oil soap takes it off easily. Like if you're putting it through your stencils, it's easy enough to get off. So I just want to show you that yellow. Oh, see that green iridescence that's on there? I'm not even sure that the camera is picking up all of the gorgeous glitter on there. So that only takes a couple of minutes to dry. Or you can use your heat tool on it to dry it, which is what I'm going to do off camera, and I'll come back to you and we will finish the card. Okay, so now I have dried that. It's nice and dry, and I've cut it down to size. Now, when I created these stamps, I created them to be used as a layered stamp, and in order to do that, I didn't want any of the words to be cut off when you layered them. So these are 4 by 5 1/4, so they're proportionally correct to an A2 card. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this pretty shimmery thing, and I'm going to add 2 things to it. First of all, I'm adding the B from SD333 Big B. This is one of my oldies, but it is a great B stamp. And also I'm going to be using the word happy from the SS117 Fab 5 Fab Phrases. Get it? Be happy. Huh. Get it? Okay, so I'm going to be coloring these in QuickTime and adding some of the IZINK Diamonds and cutting them out. And then I'm going to add the IZINK Diamonds just to the wings. So I'm going to do that in QuickTime so you don't have to watch me in slow time. Okay, so everything's been cut. And now I did a sticker cut on those, which means that I left a little bit around the edges of both pieces. You can see I left a little bit of white. Sometimes when you pull a sticker off a roll, it leaves white. That's why I call it a sticker cut. I have no idea if that's a technical term or not, but that's what I call it. I usually don't like to do sticker cuts. I'm a right to the edge kind of person. If you don't like to cut at all, which many people don't like to cut, don't cut it. Just put it down on another piece of paper just as it is. You know, cut it into a square or a rectangle and use it that way, or use a scan and cut to cut it down. All right, so I have added some iridescence to the bee's wings. Isn't that bee awesome? It's one of our older stamps, and it never ceases to amaze me on how beautiful it is. Okay, so I'm just going to set that bee aside for a second, and just to set those two pieces off, I'm going to just take one small piece of black paper here, and I'm going to put it on there about 2/3 of the way up. Cut off the excess. And apply these two pieces, the bee and the word happy, and I think I may pop this happy up. I'm going to pop the word happy, so before I do that, I'm just putting this on a black card base. On the inside, I will be putting a white sheet of paper, copy paper on the inside, so I can write a note. And my bee's wings do go off the edge a little bit. Be aware if you do that this is a card you have an envelope big enough for, or you hand give to someone, or you don't have it run off. So I'm going to take the word happy, and I'm going to pop that up, and because it's going to be popped and there is so much contrast, I have to make sure all of my little edges are perfect, otherwise it'll make me crazy. And there you have it. We have an adorable, shimmering, Be Happy springtime card. That is our tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed our tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up on YouTube and consider subscribing to the Technique Junkies YouTube channel. I will see you next week. Thank you again for watching. Happy crafting.